for inviting me to come and speak. I consider it an honor and a privilege to be invited, and truly a joy. So I'm happy to see so many friendly. I am a follower of Thich Nhat Hanh, a Vietnamese Zen master, and I was lay ordained into his order of interbeing 3 years ago. I would like to give credit for our topic today to Reb Anderson, a Soto Zen master, for his interpretation of the traditional 6 realms of existence, and also to Thich Nhat Hanh for his mindfulness trainings that help us understand how to deal with those 6 realms. Today, I would like to help us learn about the 6 realms, what they are, and what the suffering is that's in each of them. To identify which realm that each of us may inhabit, or realms that we may inhabit most of the time, and to use some awareness and mindfulness to transform our suffering from those realms into compassion, peace, and joy. Depending on how we conduct our lives, we find ourselves in one of a variety of forms of existence. The varieties are endless, but Buddhists perceive 6 major categories called the 6 realms or the 6 worlds. Traditionally, it was taught that we live in one realm for an entire lifetime and reincarnate into the same or a different realm in the following life. Today, most Buddhists recognize that we vacillate between these different realms at different points in our life, or even at different points in a single day. These worlds, which we create for ourselves, have nicknames. And I'd like to ask Leonard to put the list up for us. So we have 2 God realms, the blissful God realm and the angry God realm. We have 2 sort of hellish realms, the actual hell realm and the realm of the hungry ghosts. And then the 2 living being realms, the animal realm and the human realm. So we'll take a look at each of these. The blissful God realm. Well, I know a little bit about that. For many years I lived there. Everything was great. I was happy. I was following my dreams of family and career. I was alive and healthy, and all that I wanted seemed to come my way. Years later, a friend asked, "What's wrong with bliss? Who wouldn't want that?" But the problem with it is, it's only half a life. It is very difficult to empathize with people who are experiencing the other realms: torment, isolation, depression. I could not see the hell realm happening in my own home, the depression that was taking over my husband and my daughter. My world was so happy. I easily believed the lies and excuses that my other daughter made to cover the fact that she was mutilating her own body. There is suffering in this. They were in hell, I was in bliss. So that's one of my experiences. And as we go through, you might think about, is this a place I've been? Is this a place someone that I know has been? So we'll look at the angry gods. That one has a lot of different names, but anger, jealousy, fighting, power seeking, needing or wanting to control things. Probably all of us at some point or points wish to control things, certainly many of us. And when we look back on this year, the political campaigning, pretty easy to see in the paper, in the media, this realm in various world leaders certainly has been easy for me to see. And there is the realm of the hungry ghosts. What is that? Traditionally, the Buddhists taught that the hungry ghosts are represented as beings with a huge, huge stomach, but with tiny, tiny mouths and a thread-thin neck. They're hungry all the time, but they can never, never, never be satisfied. They can never their huge bellies. Their life is full of greed, craving, attachment, wanting. Someone once asked my teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, if the realm of the hungry ghosts was an actual real place, what would it look like? His answer was one word: America. American culture values more, bigger, faster, better. Our culture tells us over and over enough, we don't do enough, we don't have enough, we aren't good enough. This is the culture of craving, of wanting, always reaching and never, never being satisfied. Our culture actually creates these hungry ghosts. So next realm, the animal realm. The Buddhists chose long, long ago animals for this. It's the fear realm. Any form of fear or anxiety or some other manifestation of fear. Looking back on the year 2020 with COVID, political division, societal unrest, the jealous power-seeking gods across the globe, fear has been palpable. Palpable. Anxiety, fear, and even without that, you yourself or you may know someone who experiences anxiety or PTSD from other causes having nothing to do with what we've experienced this year. These are all some form of fear, and that falls in the animal realm, the fear realm. And then we come to the human realm. The human realm is the center of gravity for the other five. As human beings, we tend to return here. And at the very heart of the human realm is the safe island of mindfulness. It's the place where we are right now, where we can feel connected with all that is, with all the joy and happiness, and with all the forms of suffering. In the human realm, the glass is half full and half empty. From the human realm, we can sense the suffering that's present in all of the realms. This is the only realm where there is the possibility of seeing things just as they are. When you are inside one of the other realms, you can only see that realm. The other realms just don't exist for you. When I was in my bliss realm, I couldn't see any torment going on around me. It didn't exist. From the human realm, you can see the others. And you can realize that there is no point in looking to another realm for comfort. The only real comfort is to be found by settling in deeply, right here, right now. How do we do this? It's a simple practice of paying attention to what is under our feet at this very moment, attending to life just as it is. Our culture of always reaching doesn't really support that. This is a more meditative, a contemplative, a slowed down way of living. Thich Nhat Hanh has some mindfulness trainings that offer how-to instruction of what to do with the 6 realms. The first thing, we come home to ourselves. We always start with ourselves. When we look at those realms and we see suffering, we start with ourselves. Where am I in this picture? And what we do with ourselves first is focus on the half full. What is right in my life? A moment ago, Janine had us close our eyes and just breathe. Just breathe. When you just breathe, can you recognize that breathing is a condition of your happiness? You think of that person who is struggling with COVID, who is in the hospital, who is not going to make it, and their breathing is probably not easy. To breathe easily is a strong condition of happiness. And it's right here for most of us, virtually 24 hours a day. So when we are dealing with our suffering, the first thing we do is, and we don't just give lip service to it, we really realize it, we feel it, we sense it. We can do the same with our eyes. Can you see? Can you see colors? Can you see movement? Can you see the shapes of things? If you can see, that is a condition for your happiness. I just got back from a 1 month long trip, and I was so grateful to be home. Having an attitude of gratitude definitely nourishes our happiness, our glass half fullness. I felt so grateful to be home. And then I realized, oh, I have a home. I am grateful to have a home. And then I realized, oh, I am grateful to have a home that is warm and dry and full of all kinds of things that contribute to my happiness. Running water, electric lights. Always we attend to ourself first, and we attend to the happiness half of our glass, the half full part first. And then we turn, when we're ready, we turn to the suffering. Thich Nhat Hanh says, aware that looking deeply at the nature of suffering can help us cultivate understanding and compassion. We are determined to come home to ourselves, to recognize, accept, embrace, and listen to our own suffering with the energy of mindfulness. So we recognize and accept and embrace our happiness, and then we do the same with our suffering. So maybe I'm feeling afraid. Okay, I recognize it, I accept it. I'm in that animal realm. Of course I'm afraid. Look at the world around me. Okay, and what I'm going to do with that now, I've accepted it, I'm going to embrace it. Like holding a crying baby. I'm going to embrace my suffering. Give it, listen to it, give it the care, take good care of my suffering. Thich Nhat Hanh says we do our best not to run away from our suffering or cover it up with consumption. The funny thing about running away from our suffering, if we see ourselves in one realm, maybe we're in the fear realm, where we run away is to one of the other realms. We might run to anger and be in the angry God realm. We might run to bliss and just live in ignorance and denial. No, nothing's wrong here. We might run to consumption. We might run to become a hungry ghost. And I'm just going to buy stuff because then I don't have to think about my fear. Or I'm going to drink stuff. Or I'm going to whatever it is that we consume, whatever that thing is that clean my house. That's a thing I run to hide from things. So we do our best not to run away from our suffering or cover it up through consumption. We practice conscious breathing, conscious walking. Some people to sit still and breathe doesn't work, but to walk and breathe might work better for them. Different people have different needs, different ways to come to that home inside themselves. We know we can only find the path leading to the transformation of suffering when we understand the roots of our own suffering. And what comes out of our understanding is compassion. When we embrace our suffering, when we hold that crying baby, that in itself is an expression of compassion. I'm just going to be here with this. And I have found that simply recognizing and being with, the right action arises. You know from within yourself, I know from within myself, what to do and what not to do to deal with this suffering. Often the suffering dissipates simply by, it is like listening to a friend. Listening deeply to a friend is a form of compassion. Simply listening helps relieve some of that suffering. So today, my great hope has been that we could take a look at this very interesting, unusual set of 6 realms and possibly identify, where am I? Where are my neighbors? Where is my country? What can I see? Can I see it clearly? Identify it, and hopefully be able to look at those things with some mindfulness and awareness, to be able to attend to them by attending to the glass half full first, so I'm strong enough to attend to the half empty part, the suffering part. To not run away, to sit with it or walk with it, to be with it, and allow the understanding, the compassion, the peace we feel when suffering is relieved, and the joy that comes after that. Thank you very much for having me here today.